Good morning. I'm on the Delaware again. Unfortunately for me, the wind is going directly against me as the tide is going out, so it's giving me a lot of chop today. I'll do my best. No guarantees that I'm going to get it to Bartram's garden today. There's an awful lot in the way, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we're just checking in on the weather. We had to tuck in to the harbor here where Olympia and Mashulu are.
Dr. Zog is calling in the weather report.
Very good. Dr. Zog is on the case. And now we're waiting here to see whether or not it's wise to press on. We're trying to get a forecast on the winds. Right now they're right in my face, causing a lot of chop, and I'm getting 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And I'm hoping that maybe they die down as the sun rises and the day wears on. Other than that, sky's fair and sun is out. It's a mild sun, not the blazing one like yesterday, and the tide is with us, so we're hoping that maybe this is just a temporary situation. So we'll see. Well, I'm only 1.5 miles into my 12-mile leg today. And yeah. Half a mile past mile 25. Yes. Well, we're deciding whether or not the winds are going to be at my face all day, and if they are, how exhausted I wind up being by the time I do hit the Schuylkill and I have the wind and the tide at my back. Whether or not that will be an advantage or not. In the meantime, we can talk about the windmill islands that were once off of old city in Penn's Landing here. There was a chain of mud islands upon which were a series of windmills where they ground grain. They used the winds that are today ironically hindering my progress to their best advantage. And apparently at one point, Cooper Point in Camden was a bit of a mud flat that allowed you access to these islands from the mainland. So it's an interesting bit of history. They were only here from I believe they were using them for that purpose between 1749 and 1789. So they only used them for about 40 years, and then they were eventually dredged out. When, I really don't know, but you know, today it's a 45-foot deep channel. The SS United States, one of the great ocean liners of the 20th century, is still, to this day, the record holder for a transatlantic crossing. Some of its components are military grade and were kept top secret for decades. It was never pressed into military service, but as you can see, it's a mighty, mighty ship. I just hope that they can save it. I know that some preservationists recently bought it for $6 million, which to me, at least to my mind, is a hell of a bargain. We're at the top of Greenwich Marine Terminal, and below this is Muston Airfield, or what's left of it, and the seaplane ramps, which is what I came for. Well, a little bit of rest for a moment. I'm on one of the ramps that they built decades ago down here at the now defunct Muston Airfield, where they tested out experimental aircraft, including seaplanes, which is what these ramps were for. They were for launching aquatic planes. And behind me you can see a concrete bunker that they believe is now used as a soundstage for Paramount Pictures. I'm not entirely sure about that, but that's the rumor. And makes for a good place to wait out the tide, let it slacken so I can catch the incoming tide as I make my way towards the Schuylkill, the last leg of this trip. I'm actually quite pleased that I've made it this far. This was a big goal, this particular ramp. I saw it on the map and I knew this was a good resting spot, so I'm glad I made it. Wow, these guys get big. They grow mighty big down here at the Naval Yard. That is a beautiful ship. Look at the patterns on that. It's like dazzle paint. Well, I'm going to do something stupid right now, and I can't help myself because I'm an overgrown 8-year-old. But I'm drifting closer to it, and I'm just going to take advantage of the fact. I'm going to reach out and touch an aircraft carrier. Let's see if I can do it. Come closer. Closer, closer. Look at there. Wow. Wow. Now it's mine. I got dibs. Pretty large chains for these things. Martin, and there's Michael, and they're going to join me on the way up the Schuylkill. So I think there's a glass beach up here. Have you seen it?
Glass beach.
Yeah, glass beach.
Beach with a lot of glass on it.
Beach with a lot of glass. I think it's a place called Mango Creek. Let's find it.
Yeah, let's find it.
Very good. Friends, we have just entered Sunoco land. Right opposite of this refinery, you see you have this waste space. If you want to call it waste space, I just call it, you know, nature kind of reasserting itself. But you have these large expanses of no man's land where trees are starting to come back, and yet you have that right across. Probably mention that back in the 40s, the city of Philadelphia was lambasted by the U.S. Navy down at the mouth of the Schuylkill, because the water here was so polluted that it was actually corroding the hulls of the battleships. That's how bad things were. And as bad as this looks right now, to our eyes, it probably pales in comparison to how bad it once was. So there is hope that things are getting better. But it's just hope for now.
The mail was around early. I saw the mail first before I saw the female.
Oh, yeah.